Hi, my name's C. Welcome to RPG Horror Stories. I am your host, and if you like, subscribe, and comment on this video, you got a nice cock. On with the story. The Marble and the Murder Hobo. D&D night at the FLGS, and a new face joins in on a one-shot with some regulars. The newcomer is a Neckbeard, straight out of Central Casting heavyset with fucking wild facial hair, bald cap on backwards, wearing a t-shirt with some hipster slogan that doesn't quite cover his gut, but hey, we don't judge here, we're geeks, all of us are weird. The Neckbeard rolls up a rogue and immediately tries to get a 5-finger discount from a shopkeeper. When the shopkeeper catches him, the Neckbeard says he's gonna kill the shopkeeper and some other commoners milling around for the XP. But he is reminded that this is a one-shot and we won't be gaining any levels. Oh, he says, well then, I'll just kill them for practice. The Dungeon Master shuts this down in the name of getting on with it, and the party moves on, with the Neckbeard grumbling a bit about player agency. Great start. Once they get to the adventure, Neckbeard turns out to be a worse kind of murder hobo. He jumps to the roll initiative at every opportunity, brags constantly about his damage numbers, bickers over loot, rouses when somebody else gets a kill, fudges the die rolls, complains he's being singled out when the DM insists on rolling dice for him, and only him, whines that PvP isn't allowed, misreads his character sheet, and the list goes on and on and on. Stereotypical Neckbeard type shit. 2 hours in, and the whole table is sick of the Neckbeard's bullshit. The party enters a small room, suspiciously empty except for a small, perfectly round pearl sitting on a velvet cushion atop a small pedestal. The Neckbeard, being a rogue, checks the room for traps. He rolls a natural 20, and the Dungeon Master reports there are no traps in the room. Before anybody can make a move, the Neckbeard says, I grabbed the treasure! The Dungeon Master says there's a sound like a clap of thunder, as the Neckbeard's character vanishes into thin air. The party's wizard steps forward to examine the pearl, carefully, without touching it. One Arcana check later, the wizard determines that the pearl is actually a warp marble, an old-school wondrous item that traps the first person who touches it in an extra-dimensional space inside the marble. The Dungeon Master asks Wizard what he's gonna do to free Neckbeard, with a big smile. The Wizard replies, absolutely nothing. The Neckbeard gets mad and stomps off, while the rest of the party just laughs their ass off. Neckbeard would later try his hand at being a Dungeon Master, but that's a horror story for another day. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you trap a Neckbeard. You give them a MacGuffin they can't stand not picking up, and then you just fuck them. Of course, there's gotta be that ability to not be fucked, but you really gotta hammer the nail in the coffin by letting the rest of the party choose not to unfuck them. On to the next tale. The Dungeon Master refuses to let me cast a spell unless I act it out. I joined a campaign with some friends. It was a joke campaign, so I didn't play too seriously. First combat, I cast Dissonant Whispers, flavored it as bad ASMR. The DM told me to actually do the ASMR, and when I didn't, he said, I didn't hear anything, so it doesn't work. Edit, I should clarify that I was the only person who did something like this. The other players just said they cast a spell, and cast it. I suppose that this makes it my fault, but I wasn't expecting to be penalized for trying to be funny in a joke campaign. Taken right out of my mouth. Does he even want the monk fist acted out? I guess not. Yeah, no, seriously, this is just being a dick. Don't do this. That's all I can say on this. It's short, simple, so I'm gonna leave it short, simple, to the point. Don't do this. You're a dickwad. Wait, what did we do wrong? When I was trying to learn how Roll20 worked to be able to run a game as a DM, I joined a one-shot that was going to be tackling the classic Death House mini-adventure in 5e's Curse of Strahd. Spoilers incoming if you haven't played. The Dungeon Master told us what level to make the characters. It was, at the very least, level 4. Maybe 5, because everyone had a subclass at that point. something that will be important soon, and several people signed up for it. Of course, when game time rolls around and people start making characters, several drop out of the game and the voice chat, not wanting to play at all, leaving us with 4 players. We go to the opening hallway, make our way to the living room kind of area where there's a fireplace, and the DM says we have to stop. That it was too hard of a mission to do with 4 players because there was a flame skull we would have to fight, and that there was no way for 4 people to deal with it. I try not to metagame, but I point out that technically speaking, we could handle it. The CR rating is factoring for a party of 4, and the room we would have faced it in would have been at the very beginning, party full up on HP and abilities. No! There's no way for you to destroy for good! We have to stop! Okay, so we don't have to spell magic or remove curse, but if we kill the thing or trap it in the chimney, it doesn't matter if it comes back or not, it's trapped. Can't go up the chimney because the house doesn't allow exits. If it does fire things inside there, it's in something designed to contain fire. The shields we walk past will make a good barricade for the opening of the fireplace, and why would the house try to destroy itself when we just stepped in? At this point, the Dungeon Master deleted the game, exited Discord, leaving me and the rogue alone. But at least I got the rogue to be a player for a future game I ran. Yeah, imagine running Death House and then panicking because you're running fucking Death House, you moron. Who the fuck does this? If you're running Death House, you've gotta own it. And I would recommend practicing a few scenarios at the very least before you run it for a party, because you don't want to accidentally TPK people. I mean, like, it's written almost like a TPK module, but you want to live through it because it's how you get through to the rest of Curse of Strahd. I don't know. Here's what I do. Me personally, I treat the Death House as the entrance. You know, the normal things to get like whisked away on a carriage, and fog slowly rolls in, and before you know it, you're in Ravenloft, right? But the way I do it is, you know, you're told to invest that fucking creepy house on the curb. You go in, it's the Death House, and then you come out and you're in Ravenloft. I think it works. I think it's pretty thematic. But here's the thing. The best part about this is that it allows you to drop the entirety of Curse of Strahd into any world that you're running, because it effectively allows you to treat Curse of Strahd as its own pocket dimension, which you kind of want to be able to do because you want people to be at least level 5 when they go in. But then, yes, Flameskull comes back. Flameskull's a bitchwad. Yes, those shields are fireproof if I remember correctly. I haven't run in about 6 months, but just why didn't he just fucking let them try? That's what I said. Let them try. I mean, like, full up on HP and abilities. Like, no shit. You don't have to worry about, oh man, the Flameskull is gonna come back. Dude, if you're gone when the Flameskull comes back, the Flameskull doesn't fucking care. If the Flameskull's trapped in the Death House and you're out in another room, it's not gonna fucking care. It's not gonna do anything. The entire point of that Flameskull is actually to teach people to think about their encounters inside of the Death House with their head rather than their fists or their dicks. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents. Oh, I thought a mile is 1,000 feet. Context: I play D&D with an online group. The Dungeon Master lives in a country that uses the metric system. The only time he uses the Imperial system is when he plays Dungeons and Dragons. He's been DMing for 2 years, and our group has been playing since February. Turns out all this time some of our abilities and spells have been nerfed without any of us realizing it. We all had a good laugh about it. The other players who also live in the metric system countries had a tangent on how metric is better. It is. The Dungeon Master promises the next dungeon we go to has some extra magic items in it. Honestly, super fucking reasonable DM. I have like no qualms with what happened here. This is like textbook how you deal with making a mistake in Dungeons and Dragons. You realize you've been doing shit wrong, you don't retcon it, you end up just being like, whatever, we'll just rule it this way in the future, and here's some magic items to compensate. Or hell, you can even do it with like a fucking platinum coin. It's easy. So, this is actually fucking amazing. Much love. Stay sexy, and I hope that you guys enjoy this video. I will be streaming on Twitch later, and I hope that you enjoy the video tomorrow. Bye-bye!